being talented is not enough to have a fulfilling career. For a long time, we used to think that maybe if you put in enough effort, if you're good at your job, if you're loyal to your boss, you're going to have a very good career, climb the career ladder, and have that fulfilling career life. But the boss that maybe that used to work like many years ago, but right now that is not how you have a fulfilling career. And we know that one thing we have in this channel is to position ourselves to have a happy, fulfilling career, not just a high paying job. Have you ever wondered the difference between a high performing, fulfilled professional and a mediocre, unhappy professional with a regular job? Sometimes it's the little things that we do not pay attention to. Now, in a very short time of my career, I've had the opportunity to speak to a lot of people. I mean, people who are like CMOs, even founders and, head of content, and people who have switched different jobs and different careers and had like up to 10, 13 years or 15 years in their career. And I always like to ask people, what is one thing that if you go back in time, maybe when you come back to my stage of life, like 4 years, 5 years, in your career, what is something that you're going to correct? And I always like to ask people, if you want to do this, you want to do this right now, what's one thing you're going to do differently? For someone like me, I learned a lot from professionals who have done it before, and I've also learned a lot in such a short time in my marketing career. But I've also spoken to a lot of mentors and what I prefer to call board of advisors. So board of advisors are like people that, they're not necessarily like my mentors, but they're these people who are doing way better than me or who have more experience than me, that I always go to ask certain questions like, how did you do this? How can I do this? What do you think about this? Just like, how you have advisors in your company and all. If you're a young professional like me, you're probably in your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh year in your career. Some of this advice that I have learned from this board of advisors and other people that I have studied and also from my life might benefit you. Hi, my name is Gigi, and this channel I am dedicated to sharing meaningful lessons for people like me, people who are looking to live a better holistic life. And today in our holistic edition, we're focusing on career. We talk about finance, personal life, and a bit about spirituality. So today we're going to focus on career. I have this book. This is an old book. You can see it's very old and crappy and dusty. This book is one of the books I started using. In fact, I think this is the oldest book I have in the start of my career. When I started learning things about marketing, so you can see the date 2022. I started my marketing career anyway in 2021, but I started taking it more seriously in 2022. So you can see how far I have come. So in one of my old thing, you can see random career lessons that I have learned from different people. Number one, I am my career responsibility, not my manager. Become a self-advocate and be proactive about yourself and your career. Now, this old thing they usually say, oh, your manager is like this big stepping stone to your career. Well, that is very true. If you have a very good relationship with your manager and you're able to make your manager look good in front of, his own manager, you are like, that's like company policy and politics. It's going to, help your career. But the thing is that people now depend on their managers to succeed. You see, there's a very big difference between having a job and a career. You can have a job, any job, but to have a career, it's like taking down your job as a business and you're nurturing it. It's like you're seeing it's more like a tree that you have to water, you have to protect it, weed out all the nonsense that is close to it. Your manager, yes, is responsible in a particular way, but you are mostly responsible for your career. One thing I did very well in my previous role was to advocate for myself. If you've worked with me before in a 9 to 5 settings, or if I've told you about my career, on a one-on-one note, you know that I never allow anybody to try to dim my light. I do not wait for my manager to come and tell me, oh, this is what we're going to do this week. I already have an idea, probably because I am good at my job. I'm good at marketing. I'm good at content marketing and growth and all this kind of stuff. So I don't wait for my manager to tell me what to do. And sometimes, even when they say, oh no, we cannot really do this, I find the data. I take my time to research data and prove that if we do this thing, it's going to drive results. So this is the thing that I want to tell you. If you're one of those people who think that, okay, my manager has to tell me to do XYZ before I do it. No, your manager only tells you what to do or tries to make you do things that is going to benefit the business and also going to benefit their own career. Because if their department is not performing well, they're not going to be happy and it's not going to look good on them. So what your manager does is to make sure that whatever it is you're presenting to them is good enough for whatever it is they're supposed to present to the CEO. If you have a very good manager, they're going to give you room to speak for yourself and present your ideas. But my point here is that don't wait for your manager to tell you or your CEO or whatever to tell you what exactly you need to be doing. You need to know your job. And then just what you need to do is just to follow approval and protocol and all these things. But please, be proactive, speak for yourself, talk about what you do. I'm a very big advocate for posting what you do on LinkedIn. So make sure that you are out there posting whatever you're doing on LinkedIn. Number two, loyalty does not always pay. So you know there's this little controversy or I don't know, talk that, oh, you have to stay with one company so you can climb that career ladder. Probably that worked many years ago. But me, I don't believe that I have to stay with a company for like 10 years. Do you know they're giving a particular company 10 years of your life? Now, I know that that pays in certain ways. You know, you can get promoted, you can earn higher money. It's probably safer, but nowadays it's not. So we've seen people from different companies. I'm talking Google, OpenAI, Microsoft, that, you know, they've been there since the start of the company and then all of a sudden they get laid off. Sometimes for no absolute reason. And then you'll be wondering, oh, but they've given everything they got to this company. Well, yes, they have, but then you understand that companies are businesses. A company is a business owned by somebody. Just because it's a company does not mean it's a charity organization that really gives a shit about you. Many companies don't exactly care. So when they want to save money, maybe they want to manage costs or they just feel like, okay, having you on their team is not really beneficial to the business anymore. They can literally wake up any day and fire you and lay you off, let you go, whatever you call it, and nothing's going to happen because I mean it's a business and they have the right to do that. So what I'm going to say is please stay with a company that matters to your growth. For someone like me, I always say that I want to get a job that I can stay 5 years. And that's one of the reasons why I am currently still unemployed as a point of this video, because I'm always checking roles. Can I actually grow here? If I cannot stay in this company and grow, I'm sorry, I don't want to stay. So before you become loyal to a particular company, I want you to always ask yourself, number one, does this company have enough room for growth? I mean, enough reasonable room for growth. So you need to first of all have a career goal. This is most important. Don't just learn a skill or get a job or else you know they're just trying to pay bills and all. But if you're really trying to get a happy, fulfilling career, you need to have a career goal. You need to see your career as important as you see something else, like maybe your health and all, because it's still a very big part of your adult life. You need to get something doing. So make sure that you have a career that makes you happy. You're happy going to that job. So make sure that any company or any job or anything you're trying to be loyal to is something that actually is in alignment with our goal. Can I see it? Can I grow? Can I learn more? If I'm here for like the next 2 years, what can I actually gain? If I leave this company tomorrow, can I use whatever it is I'm going to be doing here to, you know, impact my life in the next 5, 7 years? If I go to another company, is it going to help me, you know, maybe get a higher role, a higher pay? Because me, I cannot just work in any kind of business. Like I told myself that I cannot just get any job anyhow because I want a job that I'm going to get something that I can actually make an impact so that I can go out tomorrow and brag about it and it can help me get a higher pay. Number three, which is a very interesting point, it says, look carefully at what opportunities people are reaching out to you for. If you're being offered roles that are below your level, think about how you're presenting yourself. And also, if you are hiring for that role people are reaching out to you for, at whatever company, will you also hire yourself with your own background? So there's like 2 points in one. So I'm just going to focus on the first one that says, if people are reaching out to you for a particular role, ask yourself, how are you presenting yourself? So this is something that I also learned or I've seen playing out in my current phase. There's something I was going to say if this video is not going to be too long, or maybe I'll make another video. But it's about crafting your career story. You need to start now to craft a career story. You need to know the kind of person you want to be perceived as in the industry. I feel like people do not understand that having a career story or having a career positioning or personal brand or professional brand, whatever you call it, is very important in the kind of jobs that you get. People feel like, oh, okay, personal brand is just you come to social media to say who you're not. But no, if you come out to social media and you tell your story, it can definitely impact how people actually perceive you. And how people perceive you matters. So let's say you are a professional who is building a personal brand or is building a personal brand and you get to speak in one or two places and then you have results. You know, you've worked here, you've done this, even if it's consulting, or you've also, you know, impacted people and then there are results to back it up. If you go for a job interview tomorrow and someone is like, okay, who are you? You can talk about it because I talk about it during my interviews and people want to listen to me. So you see, I might just be young now, but imagine if I keep doing this like in the next 5, 10 years. So if you feel like the opportunities that are coming your way are not exactly what you like or what exactly aligns with your career goals, you want to go back and review your story, the way you've crafted your story, the way you position yourself, and most importantly, the results that you have and the background that you're coming from. But that's the thing about having a fulfilling career or a happier life. If you're not doing those things you're supposed to do, I don't know how exactly people are supposed to see you the way you see yourself or the way you want to be seen. Number four, know who surrounds you. People around you as you build your career, most especially in your early stage, matters a lot. You see, there's a reason why the 1% hang out with the 1% or the successful like to be friends with successful people because they want people who they feel like, oh, think like me, act like me, and people who can actually make me better. It's not about being transactional. They do not want anybody who will come into their space and infect their energy. Be aware of the subtle influence of the people around you. We mimic the culture of those around us. So that's one of the reasons why I like LinkedIn. I prefer to build my career on LinkedIn and Instagram because it allows me to see other people who are already doing better than me, people who have achieved those things that I want to achieve in my career, especially on LinkedIn, because it's just very inspiring to me that, oh, you have passed through this phase that I am. It just makes sense to me that one day I am going to also pass this struggling phase of my career and, become somebody better. Read the career stories of people who have walked the path that you're trying to work and make sure that you're mimicking the behaviors of the correct people. It's very important. Learn from those you want to emulate. This is something that's number one. You always want to look at people who are already doing better than you and see, you don't have to copy them per se, but just learn from them. Build your own board of advisors. Earlier in this video, I talked about board of advisors and I said that I have my own board of advisors. Board advisors, as I said before, are just simply a group of people. They're not necessarily mentors, but people that like maybe friends or just anybody you might call a typical mentor, but people who are around you who are either on the same journey as you, are also visionary, people who also, are very dedicated to their craft, or people who have experienced the kind of thing you're experiencing, people who, you can just walk up to and say, oh, what would you do if you're in my situation? People, you trust their opinion. It's even easier when your board of advisors is mixed with your friends, people who are in the same, career experience or stage as you, and also a mix of people who are, like bigger, just like having a friend that you can always go to meet and say, oh, I'm currently experiencing this. What do you think? Number five, working hard is not impact. Rather, find the most effective ways to get things done. One mistake we make when it comes to having a job, especially when it's a job we've always wanted, is that we want to keep on working hard. Or I need to prove that, oh, if I stay longer hours, I'm performing well. If I add on more projects into the project I'm already doing, it proves that I am efficient enough or I can work under pressure. So you want to be mindful on the things that you're working hard on. If you have to use AI, please use AI. If you have to outsource, outsource. If you have to ask for help, ask for help. But the most important thing is that you are doing things the right way and you are also getting things done. So with this, we'll come to the end of this video. Let me know which of these career lessons actually made most sense to you. If you have any questions concerning having a fulfilling or a happier career, let me know in the comment section. I always try to respond to my comments. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share this video with a professional who is just starting out in the career. Leave a like. My name is Gigi and I'll see you in the next video.